25 miles downstream of Cincinnati lies the rotting remains of a ship once known as the Circle Line V.
It has gone through many names in its time, yet this is the one it ended with.
Looking back on the Circle Line V's history, it is rich with many different adventures and many different places it's seen, yet it feels short even though it's seen action since World War I. The ship itself may not be much to many, but the rich, subtle history that it holds within its walls is something to not be trifled with. The Circle Line V was originally a luxury yacht commissioned by railroad executive J. Roger Maxwell in 1902. Maxwell was an avid sailor, even winning the 1907 King's Cup with his ship, the Queen. Maxwell's first sail with the Circle Line V, originally known as the Celt, was from Wilmington, Delaware in 1902 to the Ohio River, where Maxwell lived. Yet a military man saw the ship and saw what it could be. His name was Manton B. Metcalf, and he bought the ship in 1917 to be used in World War I. The idea came from his superiors. The idea was to use smaller ships like the Celt to outmaneuver German U-boats out in the sea. The ship may never have saw battle, but it did see greatness. A passenger of the ship was known as Thomas Edison. He used the ship to get to different countries where he would experiment with different military devices, creating new military weapons. After the Great War came the Great Depression. And with that, the U.S. military sold the Celt, now known as the USS Sachem, to a man known as Jacob Martin, who used the ship as a vessel to catch fish on and sell to make ends meet during such a tragic time. September 1st, 1939, World War II began, and the ship was taken back to the military for use once more in the Navy. The ship was used to train sailors out in Key West on sonar. Again, it never saw action. Once the war came to an end, the ship was returned back to Captain Martin. A fun fact about Captain Martin is that he was a pioneer in party boats. After everything the ship has been through, being steered by rich man's hands in its beginning, World War I, World War II, and fishing with Captain Martin, it ended up becoming a tourism ship in the New York rivers for over 40 years, until it came home. It was purchased by a resident of Cincinnati known as Robert Miller in the late 80s. It was only purchased for $7,500, which, in my opinion, is a steal for the history that it held. So the question on everybody's mind is, why did Robert Miller abandon it in Taylor's Creek? The answer is nobody knows. And because of that, it has been given the name of the ghost ship. They know like the full history of it, but they have no clue why it's here.